Hello and welcome to PMCLounge.com. Today we are talking about yet another value of extreme programming, and this one is called respect. Earlier we had talked about courage, and if you want to check that video out, check out the link in the description. But the first link in the description is going to take you to a relevant article on this topic over at our official website PMCLounge.com. So if you are into reading articles, check out the first link. If you want to basically go over the first value that we talked about, which is courage, of course, then you can check out the second link in the description. But today let's talk about respect. And by the way, last time also I mentioned that agile is essentially a mindset. So just like every other agile method, so scrum was one agile method, right? We've talked about scrum a lot. Extreme programming is another agile method. It's an agile way of delivery. It also comes with its own set of values. Now here I'd like to remind you, if you're preparing for your PMP exam, then the agile part of PMP exam is where you need to read about Scrum, extreme programming. You need to know all these values and stuff. If you're preparing for your PMI ACP, then again, this video is going to help you out. So depending on whichever certification you are preparing yourself for, this video is going to help you out. All right. So I told you about how agile is a mindset. There are different ways of delivering a project using the agile methods. Extreme programming has its own set of values, and Scrum has these same values as well. So after courage, it's time to remember respect. We already talked about courage. Let's talk about respect here. So this is something that we discussed when we talked about the Scrum values, the 5 Scrum values. So Scrum team members, they respect each other to be capable and independent people. This comes from the Scrum guide. And this is very important to understand that the team members, they respect each other. So it's not like developers respecting each other. It's also the developers respecting the product manager respecting the scrum master. They respect each other. Now you and your team members, they have mutual respect for each other. Every team member trusts the teammates to do their jobs. This is again very important because this is the core of respect. People trust each other to do their job. So it's not like there are no disagreements. Team members, they listen to each other and they understand each other's ideas. So even if you go with a different approach than someone, they trust you to do your job. And this is something which is totally different from what you might have seen in the waterfall environment, where a project manager would ask you for estimates. And if milestones are missed, the project manager can even blame engineering team because they gave the estimates and they were not able to meet the milestones. This is not something which happens when you follow the agile way of delivery, and especially since agile is a mindset, especially if the team has this mindset of respect. Now in terms of extreme programming, teammates have mutual respect for each other. Every person on the team trusts everyone else to do their job. So it's pretty similar to what you might have read in Scrum. Here's an example. So this was something that we talked about in our previous value, which was courage, where a product manager comes in and says, the latest Gen AI integration must be done by our next release. And the developer says, I know this is important, but it isn't possible to code it in this late. It will introduce a risk to the overall code quality. So, what's happening here is that the coder, the developer, has the courage to respond to the product manager and tell her that it is not possible, although the feature is important, but it is not possible to code it in this late. Now, where does respect come in? Because that was courage. Respect is when the product manager understands this. Product manager understands and respects the point of view of the developer. That's where respect comes in. So obviously, courage and respect, they go hand in hand. So the product manager is thinking, although next release sounds a bit late, but we can deliver more features than our competition by next release. So obviously, when the product manager respects the point of view of the developer, and waits for the next release. It gives developer the courage to be more open in communication. And even the developer respects the product manager for understanding, because she understood the point of view of the developer, right? And when both the developer and the product manager are able to see and understand each other's point of views, that's how respect gets generated. That's how respect is born, right? And also, this also sort of touches upon how you should avoid micromanagement, how reminders and follow ups are the thing of the past. These are the kind of things that you wouldn't essentially need to do if you respect each other, if you trust each other, if you have the courage. Then obviously these things are not needed. Remember, every person on the team trusts everyone else to do their job. So you don't have to micromanage people. You need to trust that they are going to do their job. I hope you got value out of this video. Do like, share, subscribe. Consider contributing by heading over to pmclounge.com/contribute or making use of the thanks button. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.